What is going on, guys? Noah Brewer here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about how to make an ACO test campaign, which is the main way that I've been bringing in all these results that you see on my Instagram story and YouTube channel. And it's a really great and consistent testing method that I've mentioned before on the channel, and you guys highly requested that I made a tutorial video on how to do it. So in this video, I'm going to be going over what they are, why they perform so good, and then we're going to be diving into my computer and actually creating an ACO campaign together in the exact way that I've created it many times over the past few months to find many winners that have brought us way past $1,000 a day and higher. So let's get right into this video. So let's start off by talking about what is an ACO campaign. ACO stands for Automated Creative Optimization, and basically it's a feature inside of TikTok ads that allows you to basically shotgun test a bunch of different creatives and see which ones hit and which ones don't. The cool thing about it is you can put up to 30 different videos under a single ad and up to 5 different ad copies. So this pretty much means that you can have a total of 150 different ads with, different variations of videos and ad text under a single ad group, which is really insane, because if you try to do it manually, I believe the limit is like 25 or 30 ads. But when you use an ACO, you can upload up to 30 different videos with 5 different variations. And what TikTok is going to do is they're going to show the different variations of different videos with different text to all of your audience and see which one performs the best. From there, you can essentially see which one performs the best and then narrow down the road if that's something that you wanted to do, or you can just stick with ACOs if they work good for you. So even though this is a testing video, let's talk about scaling with ACOs, because really this is how we discovered it and its powers. So believe it or not, we actually discovered ACOs and their power by scaling with them in the beginning stages of a test campaign. So essentially we would take our top 3 best performing creatives and move them into an ACO campaign, and this would be kind of like our initial scale step 1, which would be the first step that we do before we start scaling an account really aggressively. And then once we would have the 3 best creatives, move them into an ACO. Usually from that point, an ACO would be much more consistent than our regular campaigns, which means that we would be able to scale it vertically without much inconsistency at all. And that's the reason we started with regular, ad groups and then transitioned into ACOs. I don't 100% understand why ACOs have always been more consistent and a little bit more profitable than regular campaigns. However, we saw it as a pattern and it kept happening over and over again, so we just kind of adapted it into our strategies and basically said, once we have 3 winning creatives, we would instantly move into an ACO and start scaling that way. But keep in mind, we were starting with completely normal ad groups and then eventually transitioning into ACOs in a very similar way. With Facebook ads, we would start with normal ad group budgets and transition into CBOs. So we started to wonder, why were we waiting to transition into an ACO? And maybe we could just start off with ACO in the first place so that no transition had to happen at all, and we could just start with ACO and then scale smoothly from the get-go. We figured if we're doing it with scaling, we might as well try it with testing. So that brings us to product testing with ACOs. If we figured that the reason we transition into ACO after the testing phase is because they're more profitable and more consistent, then why don't we just start with ACOs because they're more profitable and more consistent? So we went out there and tested it, and it turns out they are. Even with testing, ACOs are more profitable and generally more consistent, meaning there's less ups and downs when you're actually running your tests. And fun fact, most winning products that we found as a part of our agency over the past few months for our clients, we've actually tested using ACO campaigns as opposed to the other methods that we've talked about on this channel. So they work really well. It's proven to work. It's very consistent. Like I said, usually with regular campaigns, it might be like very consistent. Like one day you'll have a lot of profits, the next day you won't, and then another day, it's just very up and down and unpredictable. Whereas with ACO, we see more of a consistent basis in terms of like the amount of sales it brings in versus the amount that it spends. So it's a consistent and proven way to test products. And in this video, I'm going to be making an ACO campaign just so that you can see exactly the way that I do it, and you can follow along inside of your ad account in the exact same way that we do it so that you can see the same results. So let me hop into my computer and we'll actually get into how to create an ACO campaign in the best way that I recommend it. All right, so we are in a TikTok ads manager and we're going to go ahead and create an ACO campaign together. That way you can kind of come along, follow along with me as you create yours and make sure that you do everything right. So we're just going to set up the campaign name as product name as we usually do for these tests. Usually just call it the name of your product, no big deal. Go ahead and click continue. And on the ad group level, I usually name the ad group Open One ACO, so that way we know it's completely open targeting, and we are doing ACO for this ad group. So you're gonna go ahead and select your pixel. So usually we'll optimize for complete payments. So go ahead and click website, choose your pixel, and then put in complete payments. I'll do that now. All right, so once you do that, go ahead and placements. You can do manual placements for TikTok only, or you can just leave it on automatic. Honestly, I just leave it on automatic because I don't really see it spending money on the other platforms anyways, for whatever reason. Comments, video downloads, you can turn them off, leave them on. Personally, I've been leaving them on recently because I think it's helping with spending a little bit, and I personally think that the controversy that comes from the comments is actually helping the ads rather than hurting them. Now, this is ACO right here. So this is where you flick it on. So you turn it on the ad group level, and it'll basically change the way that you upload your ads. So you're gonna see the actual settings for the ACO when we get to the ad level, and I'll show you how I upload the ads and put in your ad copies. But for now, on your ad group, you pretty much just flick it on and just let TikTok know that you want to do ACO. So usually for countries, I do US and Canada. Age groups, you don't have to do 18 plus for everything, but I'm just going to do it for the sake of this test. Interest, like I said, I'm leaving it completely open on this one. Budgets, you can do $20 or $25 if you want it to be a little bit different. Schedule it for midnight the next day just so it doesn't blow our budget in the last few hours of the day. And you can do day parting, but you do not have to. So once all that is set up, usually just do lowest cost. You can see pretty much almost everything we do on the ad group is just leaving it the way that it is. And that's by design because I think it works really, really well when we do that. So now that we are on the ad level, this is where you're gonna see that it looks a little bit different, right? It basically says you can upload up to 30 videos and images, and it tells you how many you've uploaded. So we're not gonna do 30, we're only gonna do 5. And the reason we only do 5 is because this is what we split tested, and 5 works the best. You can also do it with 3. If you remember when I said that when we were doing it with scaling, we would take our top 3 creatives and put them into an ACO. Essentially all that means is instead of uploading 5, we were doing 3. But during the testing phase, right, like if you don't know that the product is a winner, I recommend doing 5 and not 3 just to give it a little bit more variation. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna upload 5 videos into this, and it's basically gonna store them inside this one ad, and I'm gonna just use videos that I made for myself just as example here, because I don't wanna upload any real product videos to this since it's just an example. All right, so I just uploaded 5 ads. You can see that it's gonna store them here like under this one ad, which is really, really cool because you don't have to worry about having 5 different ads under each ad. It's basically just gonna show up as one ad, and yes, you can upload up to 30 here. So I have not tried doing 30 different creatives for a single product. That's a little bit crazy. But what we're gonna do now is you can see that for the ad text, we can do 5 different texts. So I have a bunch of example texts that I'm gonna come in here and just manually add in. So let's go ahead and do that. I have a couple example ad copies here that we're just gonna throw in. So put in the first one, put in the next one is gonna be buy one, get one limited time offer. We can try some funny ones like this mask will have you feeling spectacular. And obviously we're not selling a mask, this is just an example. But you can put 5 different ad copies here for your product, and I recommend to get pretty creative and see what kind of things you can think of when you're coming up with your ad text. So this is 25 different variations that TikTok is gonna be showing to our audience. You have 5 different ads and 5 different ad copies. 5 times 5, 25. So it's basically gonna create 25 different ads under here. It's gonna mix and match every single video with each ad text, and it's gonna split test them and see which ones perform the best. And then once it's done, we can go in and look at which one performs the best, and then we can either isolate it in a new campaign, or we can just continue running with ACO if that's what works the best. So once you upload your 5 videos and your 5 ad copies, you pretty much choose your call to actions, which again, I do recommend doing dynamic call to action. Just make sure that you review the pre-selected options that they have, make sure that they make sense for your product. And then for the URL, I'm just gonna put in one of my website links, but you would put your product page link there, of course. So you basically just set it up like a normal ad with the dynamic call to action with your URL, and then once you have everything set up, you pretty much just create it like you would create any other ad. So just go ahead and click submit, and then from here, you just wait for it to publish. Once it publishes, you go ahead and duplicate the ad groups, which I'll wait with you guys and we can do that together as well. So you can see here the one ad group that we just created, Open One ACO, and if we go to the ad level, this is where it gets interesting. You can see that we have a total of 25 ads under here. So very, very interesting. There's 5 different variations for every single video that we uploaded, and the main reason is because there's 5 different ad copies. So if you only did 3 different ad copies and 3 videos, you would have 9 ads under your ad group. And of course, I believe the reason TikTok splits them up in this way on the ad level is so that once we have results, we can basically click total complete purchases here and bring the best ones up to the top, and we can individually see which combination of which video and which ad copy is actually going to perform the best, which is really, really good once you start getting some data, and you might want to create some isolation campaigns off of that. So what we're going to do is pretty much the same thing that we do with any other campaign, duplicate it 4 times because we want a total of 5 ad groups under the campaign, and we're basically just going to scroll down, make sure that we schedule it again because TikTok does not duplicate the start times for whatever reason. It's mad annoying. And then if we click next, we're going to see the same ACO setup that we had before. So boom, here we go, 5 videos, 5 different ad copies, and we're just going to go ahead and click submit, and that's going to leave us with 5 ad groups with 25 different ad variations under each ad group. And this is what's working very, very well for us when product testing, and they're the most consistent and profitable campaigns when scaling as well. So boom, our campaign is done, and you should be ready to go once you have this all set up, and we should have a total of 5 times 25, 125 ads, baby. Let's go. Like I said earlier, we found this strategy because we are constantly testing new strategies and constantly testing products as a part of our agency for our clients. And like I said, we found many, many winners using this ACO testing campaign for our clients. You know, I'll show some of the screenshots up here. We've taken many clients to $1,000 a day or more just with ACO testing, which I think is really incredible, and it's part of the reason I brought this video to you today. So as a part of my agency, we provide you with products, we build your store, we run your testing campaigns, you know, using our most up-to-date strategies and making sure that we're optimizing your ads for the best results. And then once we find you a winning product, we scale for you. You know, this is all done on your store, your ad account, so you can pretty much take a front seat look at exactly what we do to grow stores. And this could be a great learning experience, but it could also be great if you're somebody who works a job or you don't have 100% of the time to invest into this to figure it out on your own. You can essentially automate your store and learn while you're doing it. Now, obviously, we get some pretty amazing for our clients, but if you would be interested in working with me one way or another, there will be an application form in the description if you wanted to fill it out. And of course, all of my clients and students get first access to all of my top strategies, and they obviously stay up to date with everything that I'm doing. So fill out the application, and if it's a good fit, one of us will reach out to you and we can talk more about it and see how we can help you specifically. So fill out the application and we'll talk soon. So that is how you make an ACO campaign so that you can start testing and transitioning into scaling a little bit more smoother, a little bit more consistent, and a little bit more profitable. So like I said, we've used this strategy for the past few months to find many, many winning products. So I'm super happy I was able to share it in this video, and I hope it's really, really valuable for you and you can go off and implement it and start finding winners yourself. Now, like always, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. But that's pretty much it for this video. This is Noah Brewer, and I'm out. Peace.